Welcome to the Fantasy Baseball Weekly Podcast with Phil Naessens.
Welcome to Fantasy Baseball Weekly. My name is Phil Naessens, and I'm the host of this weekly radio program brought to you on Max Sports Channels and Baseball Talk Radio, and it's designed for you, the fantasy owner, to win your league. I've got a great show planned for you today. We're going to take a look at first baseman and some sleepers that'll go along with it. We're also going to take a look at my first live draft. But up first, I must give you an announcement. I will be writing a weekly fantasy baseball column. It'll be published every Saturday over at fantasyteamadvice.com, and it will be entitled Weekly Waiver Wire Pickups and Sleepers. And I'm looking forward to producing that column for that site. I've already written basketball articles for them. I like the guys. They seem to like me. So it should be a lot of fun. More than likely, I'll be doing one in the middle of the week as well, where we can look at some big matchups and work the waiver wire with that as well. So, because we do that a lot, I like to work the waiver wire. It's something that I guess it would be my specialty, I suppose, if I had one. So I think that's what I'll do. But every Saturday from, I guess, March 21st on, you can find that over at fantasyteamadvice.com. And I'll be happy to have you there. Leave a comment. Let me know that you read it. Let me know that you're excited about fantasy baseball. And if you think I'm completely off the wall, let me know that too. Alright, you know what? I wasn't going to do a real draft until it was time for the leagues that I'm already in to actually draft. Now that's going to happen in the next couple weeks. But Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening I should say, while I was waiting to do my show, I thought I would go and do another mock draft and give the report on this week's show. But instead of that, I saw that there were teams being drafted and leagues being drafted and organized for that evening. So I decided to say, you know what, let's see what folks are doing live. So I entered a 90-second snake draft. It's a 10-team, 5x5 mixed league. And lo and behold, I got the first pick and I took Mike Trout. Now, I was going to take Miguel Cabrera because I like his home runs, obviously, and everything else. But Trout gets me with the stolen bases. As you guys know, I love stolen bases. I love that category. I love to win every single category. And I took Mike Trout. Cabrera went second. No surprise there. Andrew McCutchen went third. That was, that was a little bit of a surprise. Paul Goldschmidt went fourth, so I would have figured the other way around. Clayton Kershaw went fifth. Carlos Gonzalez went 6th, Chris Davis 7th. Joey Votto was taken in the first round in the 8th pick, and that was something that I was a little, interested in or curious about because Edwin Encarnacion was still available, and I think he's the best first base option out there. Yu Darvish was taken, and Robinson Cano. Do you remember the mock draft that we did? For both of them, actually. Pitchers were taken early, and in this draft, they were really taken. Kershaw and Darvish, the number 1 and 2 rated pitchers, and we'll get into that in a couple weeks, were taken in the first round. That was surprising to me that they went that early. I wasn't surprised Kershaw, but I was kind of surprised about Darvish. I was surprised about Robinson Cano going so early, but it is what it is. Maybe the guy builds his teams from second base on. And that's the other thing. People have preferences like I do. I choose stolen bases predominantly, and I have a system on how I draft. I usually take 2 sluggers and then pitchers. I stuck with that again. Second round, Hanley Ramirez went in that round. Troy Tulowitzki went in that round. So we have 2 shortstops already gone in the second round. 2 high risk and high reward guys. If you've got to take a risk, those are the ones. Now, pitchers that were taken in that round, Steven Strasburg, and that was it. Steven Strasburg was the only pitcher. So in the first 2 rounds, only 3 pitchers were selected. In our mock drafts, if you remember, there were 7 pitchers taken in the first 2 rounds. So it was interesting. Now, Dustin Pedroia went in this round. I thought that was a little high for him. I would not have done that. I probably would have gone with the Jason Kipnis or even an Ian Kinsler before I took Pedroia, but this person did, and it is his business. It's his team. God bless him. I chose Buster Posey. I might have taken him a bit early, but I was drafted first, so now I am going to have to wait. If I have to wait, I have the next pick, obviously, so I have pick number 21, but then I'm going to have to wait a long time, and I'm going to lose him. And I didn't want to take a chance, so I took him, and that's something that you'll have to do on your own and decide. You know, if you see somebody you like and you have a long time before you have to draft, don't be surprised if that person's gone. Grab him. The other notables, Evan Longoria went in this round, and I wouldn't have taken him over Adrian Beltre. I don't think I would have even taken him over David Wright, but he went early. And Dustin Pedroia, as I said, Adam Jones went, pick number 17. I think that was a good pick. Jacoby Ellsbury, who's been number 1 for both mock drafts or in the top 10, first rounder. He went out in the second. Strasburg, like I said, Edwin Encarnacion, second round. Interesting stuff. Third round, my first pitching selection was Adam Wainwright. I was going to go with Cliff Lee, but I took Wainwright. Shoot me. Other notables taken, pitchers-wise, Max Scherzer and Felix Hernandez. So now in 3 rounds, we've got 6 pitchers gone. So our mock draft results weren't exactly the same as what the real one was. Ryan Braun, the number 22 pick. Interesting selection. Adrian Beltre, I'm still surprised he went before or after Longoria. Jose Reyes, another high-risk, high-reward player. David Wright was in that round. Carlos Gomez from Milwaukee was in that round. Ian Kinsler was chosen before Jason Kipnis. I would have flipped those 2 around. Felix Hernandez was taken. That's a good pickup. I was going to go with him too, but I like Wainwright. I like the team he plays for, and, well, that's was my logic behind that pick. 4th round, I had to wait a long time. I took J.J. Hardy in the 4th round with the 40th pick, and the reason being, all the other shortstops were gone because in this round, Ian Desmond, who I had my eye on the entire time, was taken, and I panicked. Well, I didn't panic. I figured I need to get a shortstop. I need to get one of the top 5, and J.J. Hardy's that guy. Giancarlo Stanton was taken in this round as well. That was kind of, well, surprising. Yasiel Puig, number 37, interesting pickup. Freddie Freeman, number 35, interesting pickup. Dave Bruce, number 33. Bryce Harper, number 31. In our mock drafts, he was taken in the 2nd round. So don't jump early because I think people are starting to get a little nervous about him. But outside of that, it looked pretty good. Now, in the 5th round, my next pitcher I took was Jose Fernandez because I had 40 and 41. So I took Fernandez. I like him. I think he's going to get over 200 strikeouts. And I just enjoy watching him. Other pitchers taken in that round, Justin Verlander was taken. Craig Kimbrell was taken in that round. But the pitchers haven't been dropping too much. Sale was taken in the 4th round, as I mentioned before. So basically, in the 5 rounds, we've got 9 of the top 10 pitchers already gone. Keep an eye on that. Other notables in round 5, Shin-Soo Choo, Brian McCann, Jose Bautista, Alex Rios, Albert Pujols, which I think is a little bit early for him, but it is what it is. 6th round, I took Carlos Santana. Other picks, Elvis Andrus was still around. I almost took him over J.J. Hardy. Ben Zobrist was taken in that round. I might have taken him before I took a couple of those other second basemen. Justin Upton was taken. Zach Greinke was picked up in that round. Aroldis Chapman was taken. Now that's the 2nd reliever taken. I don't know if I'd have done that. Not that early. Joe Mauer, the 59th pick. Homer Bailey, the 58th. So that's the first 6 rounds. It was really interesting, though. And then it kind of got, everything started to sort itself out. Let me see a few late round sleepers here, if I can. Will Myers was taken in the 10th round, the 91st pick. Let's see who else. Matt Cain was taken in the 10th round as well. Jared Weaver in the 9th. Hunter Pence in the 9th round. A lot later than they've been projected, right? Remember that ADP we talked about last week? Go back and check some of these now. Cole Hamels was taken in the 10th round, so I would say he's one of the top 10 pitchers out there. And it took 10 rounds to get him, so the pitchers are there. Jason Worth was the 99th pick. That seemed to bear out what I believe about him, that he's going to be one of those guys that won't have the same type of season as he did last year. So it looks like the draft so far has borne that out. Dominic Brown was taken number 100. That was a little bit late for him, and I felt like I got a steal with Dominic Brown. And then I chose Alex Cobb because I just chose Alex Cobb. I like him, and that's it. But let me see. Jonathan Lucroy was the 104 pick. He's a great catcher. He's a good addition to any baseball team. The catchers are around. And that's the thing. The catchers are around. You can afford to almost wait till the 10th or 11th round to go after a catcher. That's something that I learned in that draft. Doug Fister was taken in the 12th round. Nelson Cruz was taken in the 12th round. Everth Cabrera was taken in the 12th round. That's a steal right there. I chose Aaron Hill in the 12th, but that's a steal. That is a steal. If Cabrera can do anything close to what he's done in the past, that's a steal. Han Yin Ryu in the 12th round. That's a steal. In the 13th round, let's see, Matt Moore went out in the 13th. Anthony Rizzo went out. Kuroda went out. Glenn Perkins went. John Lester went. CC Sabathia went. Now we're starting to drop off. In the 14th round, Billy Hamilton was the 131st pick. That's a tough one. If he can get on base, he's worth it. If he can't get on base, he won't be in the major leagues. We'll talk with Brandon Kraling in the next week or 10 days on my daily show, and we'll get that sorted out. Because it's not even guaranteed that he's going to start. So I'd be careful with Billy Hamilton. I chose Curtis Granderson as the 140th pick because I wanted a New York Met on my team. Big reasoning, huh? Let's see, who else do we have here? Matt Wieters was the 143rd selection. See, another great catcher who will help you. Taken very late. Evan Gattis taken late in round 15. Michael Wacha in 15. Jurickson Profar in 15. In the 16th round, Matt Adams was taken. Asdrubal Cabrera was taken in the 16th round, folks. Pay attention to these things. You're going to get somewhere if you just wait. Because there are a lot of players to choose from. Just wait. Don't panic. That's the key to winning these drafts and having successful drafts. Don't panic. Let's see who else was taken late. Justin Morneau was taken in the 17th round. That could be a steal. We'll talk about him a little bit later, but that could be a steal. Because he's playing at Coors Field. If he gets his stroke back, look out. A.J. Burnett, notable guy, taken in round 18. I got Addison Reed in the 18th round. I was pretty happy about that. Will Middlesbrooks, 18th round. Brandon Belt, 18th round. Chris Johnson, 18th round. Crazy stuff, huh? Josh Reddick, 19th round. He made a hell of a catch this week. Two of them, actually. I'm sure Michael Morris wasn't very happy. Let's see who else. Jake Peavy was the 199th pick. So you see they're there. Listen to this. I picked up Johnny Cueto on the number 201 pick in the 21st round. Crazy stuff. Andre Ethier, round 22. The players are out there, my friend. I like my team, though. I enjoyed doing that first live draft. It was a lot more fun than the mock drafts. I didn't know any of these guys, so it was all good in the hood. But anyway, I'm going to take a break, pay some bills, and when I return, we're going to take a look at the first baseman, or I should say the top first base prospects and projected first baseman, and I'll give you a couple sleepers as well. And we'll be right back. You're listening to Fantasy Baseball Weekly on Max Sports Channels and Baseball Talk Radio.
If you like baseball, you should be checking out baseballpodcasts.net. It's one of the best places you can go on the internet to listen to independent baseball talk shows. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on our radio player that can be heard around the world. So won't you tune in and give us a listen at baseballpodcast.net. You can also listen to the great Phil Naessens show here. See you there at baseballpodcast.net.
Hi, this is Phil Naessens from This Week in Tennis and the Phil Naessens Show. Max Sports Channels offers the best in sports talk radio, as well as great music 24 hours a day. It's my daily destination, and I hope it's yours. The sports talk begins each and every day at 3 p.m. and ends around 9 p.m. Special programming on the weekends, and in between all that, the hottest music on the internet. That's Max Sports Channels. Make it your daily destination. Welcome back to Fantasy Baseball Weekly. First baseman. Here we go, folks. Paul Goldschmidt is my number one guy. Has to be. He had a fantastic season last year. He's valued at about $35 to $40. And what you can get for your money are 95 runs, around 30 home runs, probably 100 RBIs, 15 stolen bases. He'll probably bat around 280 or better. His on-base percentage will be about 380 or better, and his slug around 519. Great value. Number one, you gotta love the stolen bases. I know you're tired of hearing me say that every week, but that's my thing. That's that extra category that'll help you win your league, and you want to win every one of them. I have Edwin Encarnacion, number 2. I have him valued at about $35 as well. I think he and Goldschmidt are very similar, except Goldschmidt will steal more bases. But you can get for your money about 84 runs scored, around 35 or more bombs, 100 or more RBIs, 8 stolen bases. His batting average will probably be around 280 or better. His on base of 385 or better will be pretty good. You'll be happy with that. And his slugging percentage of 543 makes him probably the second highest first baseman in terms of slug, and he's worth it. I wouldn't pay more than 40 for him, but he's worth it, and I'm really surprised how late he's gone in some drafts, mock or otherwise. Prince Fielder from Texas, I value him at about $30. I think he's going to have a lot of fun down in Texas. I think he's going to hit about 31 bombs and probably score 89 runs. Probably drive in more than 100 runs. He'll probably bat close to 300, maybe 290. His 388 or better on-base percentage is not too shabby. And his slug of 512 makes him good value for your money. He's another one. I wouldn't see him going anywhere deeper than 5 amongst first basemen, that's for sure. Now, this one is probably a little more controversial. A lot of people rate him a little higher, but I have Chris Davis at number 4. I think he's going to score about 81 runs. He's going to hit probably 35 to 45 home runs. Probably drive in 102 RBIs. He'll steal a couple bases. His batting average is 260, and that's not so good. His on-base percentage will be around 340 or better. And his slug will be around 571, which is phenomenal, and that's why he's valued at around $30. I like him. I like Fielder better. I think because Fielder will play every night, and I just have this funny feeling that he's going to produce a little bit more than Davis, and it's that batting average category that's going to put him a little higher, I think. Joey Votto, I have him at number 5. I think he's going to score about 93 runs and hit about 20 bombs, drive in about 90 runs and steal a few bases, maybe 5 to 10. He'll bat right around 300. His on-base percentage will be about 420 or better, which is just phenomenal. This guy rarely makes an out, it seems. His slug of 488 is a lot lower than the others, and that's why I have him valued at $27, $25, $27. Don't pay any more for Joey than that. And I have Freddie Freeman from the Braves. Just signed a monster contract. I like him. He's phenomenal. 24 home runs I think he'll hit. I think he'll score about 83 runs. He'll drive in about 94 runs. He won't steal any bases for you, probably. He'll probably finish with a batting average of 280 or better. His on-base percentage will probably be around 375 or better. His slug is at 479 or better, and I value him at $20 to $23. Not a bad value. He's going to have his opportunities, and Atlanta likes to score runs. They're going to have a good team this year, and he's part of the reason why. Now, Eric Hosmer, I have him in there at number 7. I think he'll score about 75 runs. I think he's going to hit about 17 bombs. I think he's going to probably drive in 85 to 90 runs. And I think he'll steal about 12 to 20 bases. And I think that'll be the last year he does that. As he gets older, I think he's going to, like all of them do, slow down a bit. His batting average will be around 280, 285. His on-base percentage will be around 347, I guess, 350. Slug of about 438. And I value him at $15 to $18. You don't want to pay much more than that, I don't think. Jose Dariel Abreu from the Chicago White Sox. Now, I have him valued right now at about $15 to $18. And here's why. I see him scoring about 83 runs, driving in about 80 to 90 runs, hitting 26 bombs. He'll steal a couple of bases for you. His batting average should be around 270 or better. His on-base percentage should be about 340 to 360. And his slug will be around 490 to 500. Very good value at $15 to $18, I think. I think that's a very good value. Now, this one here I wanted to put higher up. I really did. He had a phenomenal year last year, but I don't think he can do it again. And that's Adrian Gonzalez from the Dodgers. I think he's going to go for about $14 to $16. He'll more than likely score 79 runs for you. He'll probably hit about 20 to 25 home runs. He'll drive in 80 to 90 runs. He won't steal any bases for you either. His batting average should be around 280 or better. His on-base percentage will be around 350, I think. And his slug around 450. And that's $14 to $17 worth right there. Not much more. I like him, though. He had a great year last year. Phenomenal year for the Dodgers. If he can duplicate it, God bless him. But I don't think he can. I think he's around your 9th first baseman selected. And then we have Michael Kadire, who has dual eligibility. He can play outfield or at first. Great value for $14 to $15. I think if he's healthy, of course. That's the other thing. He spent a lot of time last season on the DL, and I get a little nervous about that. But I think he'll score about 71 runs, maybe 75. Probably he'll hit 19 home runs, drive in 80 runs, steal about 10 bases. His batting average should be around 280 or better. His on-base percentage will be around 350 or better. And his slug will probably be close to 500. Probably 470 to 500. It just depends. And he's valued at 14 to 16. Health is going to be the issue with Kadire, but my goodness, I had a very good season with him last year while he was healthy, and most people did too. And I believe I got him late last year. Albert Pujols, I've got him on here at number 11. Oh, Maron. I don't know how old this guy is, but he's had some serious issues. He missed so much time last year. And past injuries predicate future injuries, or I should say predict them anyway, or can help you. And I'd be careful with Albert Pujols. I have him valued at $10 to $13. He'll probably score around 73 runs. hit 20 or more bombs, drive in 75 runs. He might steal a handful of bases for you too. 285 batting average. More than likely his on-base percentage will be around 360 and a slug of about 490 or better. Albert Pujols, I used to love having him on my squads, but unfortunately, injuries and all that, I got nervous. I shied away. I'm very nervous about him. In your league, if you're in a 10-team league, he probably shouldn't be taken as early as the 10-team he was taken in that 10-team draft I did. He should not be taken that early. But then again, if he can stay healthy and produce, then he's a top 5 first baseman, isn't he? For many reasons. And then let's look at a few guys I think might make an impact on your roster. Anthony Rizzo, if he can have a bounce back year. He had an awful season last year. He was very disappointing for me. I don't know, man, but I would keep an eye on Anthony Rizzo. He'll probably hit 20 or more bombs, drive in 86 runs, bat 273, steal a handful of bases. Don't spend any more than 10 or 12 bucks for him. Carlos Santana, I do not have him listed as highly as a first baseman, but he'll be gone long before this anyway, because more than likely he'll have triple eligibility. But keep an eye on that too. Brandon Moss is a guy I like a lot. He's going to hit about 30 bombs for you. He's going to drive in about 76 runs, and he's going to score about 74 runs. And that's about all he's going to do. But his slug is phenomenal, probably over 500. The guy hits bombs, and hits bombs, and hits bombs, or he strikes out. But he's a steal if you can get him for 10 bucks or less. A real steal. And if you paid attention in those snake drafts we were doing, mock or otherwise, he was going very late. Very late. Nice guy to have on your bench, though, because he is dual eligible, I believe. He still has some outfield eligibility as well, so keep an eye on that. Another one I'm looking at is Mark Teixeira. Mark Teixeira could be the sleeper of the year, folks. Now, I'm a tennis pro, and I've seen guys with the same injury that he had never make it back. But he missed the entire season, or almost the entire season, with that wrist. Keep an eye on him, because if he can stay healthy, this guy's going to produce in New York City. That's going to be an interesting offense there. It all depends. Watch this guy. He'll probably go undrafted in your snake drafts. Keep an eye out for him. Watch that waiver wire. Watch my weekly column, because I'm keeping an eye on him. Another one that I'm keeping an eye on this season in the first base category is Matt Adams. Now, he's going to be in a platoon situation more than likely with Alan Craig, but if one of them gets hurt, and Matt Adams, and Alan Craig has had injury issues, we all know that, keep an eye out for Matt Adams, because Matt Adams can produce. He's their first baseman of the future. He just hasn't had a chance. Matt Adams is another name you want to keep an eye on. Chris Johnson from Atlanta. Now, he probably will go sooner than that. He'll probably be gone as a third baseman. But keep an eye for Chris Johnson as well. He'll have that dual eligibility. Another one I like is Justin Morneau for a sleeper. Keep an eye out for him. If he can ever shake the effects of that concussion, in Coors Field, he's going to put up some numbers. I think he's going to have a nice season, but keep an eye. And the last one, and you can laugh all you like, but keep an eye out for Ike Davis. Ike Davis had a crappy year last year. He had a monster second half of the season before. I do a weekly New York Mets report. I'm a monster New York Mets fan. And I'm going to tell you, I do not like the guy personally out there at first, but if he can get hot, he's your guy. He's going to be some kind of player if he gets hot. He can produce. He might hit 30 home runs for you. He hit about 25 of them in the second half 2 seasons ago. And I picked him up after I bagged on him on my radio show, and he went wild after the All-Star break. So keep an eye on those guys. You know what? That's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Fantasy Baseball Weekly. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at FlashTennis31. Head on over to find us on Stitcher.com, Still not on iTunes. I don't know what the heck's going on with that, but it is what it is. And you can catch me every week over at fantasyteamadvice.com. Send me an email at philnaessens.com. Until next week, good luck with your draft.